Good afternoon, Bay Nation. Welcome to another episode of Fantasy Bay. I'm your host, Mike Williams, and today we're going to be going over my love and hates. Players that I would love to start this week and players that I hate to start this week. Starting off with the quarterback position. Geno Smith has been incredible so far this year. In the last 3 games, he's the second best quarterback in the league. Let's go! Fire him up against the Cardinals. The Cardinals are giving up the 7th most points to the quarterback position. Geno Smith should be a solid start. Next up, Kirk Cousins. Cousins has been okay so far this year, but he has a great matchup against the Miami Dolphins, who are allowing the 4th most points against the quarterback in the last 5 games, basically the whole season. And they don't have Tua. I think it's going to be a field day for the Vikings. Fire up your Kirk Cousins. And last but not least, we have Tom Brady. The GOAT has a great matchup going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. In the last 3 games, they've given up the 2nd most points to the quarterback position. Yeah, I know the Bills went off on them, but they're giving up the 5th most points against the quarterback for the entire year. So, Tom Brady's going to feast. Running backs I love in week 6. Ramondre Stevenson is going to go off this week. The Browns give up the 3rd most fantasy points against the running back this year, and I think Ramondre Stevenson is going to take advantage of that. Next up, Eno Benjamin. Going against the Seattle Seahawks with James Conner and Williams down, he's the starting running back for the Cardinals. And on top of that, the Seahawks have given up the 5th most points to running backs this year. Let's go! Next up, a surprise start. Darrell Henderson. Apparently Cam Akers is dealing with a personal issue and not going to be playing in this game. That gives more opportunities to Darrell Henderson. The Panthers are allowing the 7th most points to the running back position so far this year. Fire up your Darrell Henderson. I think he should be pretty solid. The Rams are going to destroy the Panthers. They're going to need to run the ball. Next up, Raheem Mostert. Now, he's dealing with an injury at the moment, so if he doesn't play, obviously switch this to Chase Edmonds. But he has a great matchup going up against the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are barely above average against the running back position. I think that he should have a solid outing. And last but not least, Melvin Gordon. This one is a little more interesting for me because of the backfield situation. He's probably going to be splitting work with Mike Boone and now Latavius Murray. Not sure how that breakout's going to work, but the Chargers give up the most points to the running back position, so someone's going to eat. I'm going to go with Melvin Gordon mainly because he's the lead back at the moment. Running backs that I hate in week 6. Starting off with Najee Harris. He has just not played well so far this year. He was okay at the beginning, 11, 14, 13. That's all right. I mean, for a first-round pick, no blow-up games. Last 2 games, he's had 7 points. Ugh. And now he has a terrible matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers allow the 2nd fewest points against the running back position. That's not a good sign. He hasn't been playing well. He's really mostly volume, and he's been giving up more and more work to his backup. Not a good sign. Next up, Tyler Algier. If you were looking to start him this week, I would probably find another option. He's going against the 49ers, and the 49ers have allowed the 3rd fewest points against the running back position. Really not something I'm trying to look at. This next one isn't a sit, but I'm really not a big fan of J.K. Dobbins right now. He's been pretty up and down, and the Giants have been pretty good against the running back position. I can understand if you want to play him, but I would limit my expectations. Wide receivers that I love in week 6. Adam Thielen. Yes, I know he's been up and down, but this is going to be one of his up weeks. The Dolphins allow the 7th most point to the wide receiver position. And I think Adam Thielen is going to have a solid game. Mark him down for a touchdown. Next up, we have Chris Godwin. I'm looking for Chris Godwin to have a bounce-back game in this one. The Steelers are the worst team in the league against the wide receivers. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. From the steel curtain to the damp washcloth. Not very good right now. I think they'll be better when TJ Watt gets back. But till then, pretty bad. The Buccaneers are going to feast against the Steelers, and I can't wait. Wide receivers that I hate this week. Drake London started off pretty good, but the last couple games he's been meh. And he doesn't have a much better matchup this week either. The 49ers are great against the wide receiver, and I don't think that he's going to be able to overcome that. The only saving grace is I think there's a chance they're down a lot in this game, and they'll have to throw it to come back. But if they keep it close, I don't think Drake London is going to do much. Next up is Mike Williams, and I don't want to say this is a hate. This is just a limit your expectations. 3 of the last 4 games, Mike Williams has had 19 or more points. I don't think he reaches that this week. I'm not saying he's going to be complete garbage or anything, but the Broncos are the best team in the league this year against the wide receiver, and it's going to be kind of tough for Mike Williams. So you don't have to bench him, but limit your expectations. Tight ends that I love in week 6. Zach Ertz has been great so far this year. And now he's going against the Seattle Seahawks, who give up the most points in the league to the tight end. Let's go! Next up, I'm expecting a bounce back from George Kittle. He has not scored double-digit points all year long. It has been a really rough start. But I think he gets it done in this one. The Falcons are allowing the 4th most points to the tight end position. Fire up your George Kittle. Not like you weren't starting him anyways, but at least I think you'll have confidence that he has some upside this week. And now to a player that you were most likely not going to be starting, Noah Fant. He hasn't been that great so far this year, but the Cardinals allow the 2nd most points to the tight end position, so I think either Noah Fant's going to do great or Will Disley will do great. So if you're looking for a coin flip and you're out of options at tight end, I think you could go with one of these two. Disley has the better track record, but Noah Fant is also an athletic tight end that has a chance to have a solid game. Tight ends that I hate in week 6. Dalton Schultz. He has been playing absolutely terrible so far this year. I know that he's been banged up, but if you're in the game, people have been starting him, and I'm not suggesting you start him in this one. The Eagles are pretty good against the tight end, and he hasn't done anything to show me that I should be starting him. Next up, Kyle Pitts. Man, I know some of y'all out there are hot right now with Kyle Pitts. Man, he has crushed some of y'all. And I say y'all because I don't have Kyle Pitts anywhere. I wasn't big on him. But not only has Kyle Pitts been terrible, this matchup is awful against the 49ers. They're the 2nd best team against the tight end. If you have another option, I would try not to play Kyle Pitts. So that's going to do it for my first segment of Love Hate. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below. Who did I get right? Who did I get wrong? Let me know down in the comments. Good luck in your matchups this week. Peace.